Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and today we're going to talk a little bit about 17-1 and the chemical hazards we face. Sorry I can't be with you today, but get you from the convenience of your computer screen. So, just to get us started briefly on this topic, we're going to look at a couple of different health hazards that exist, right, from place to place. And one of the things that we're going to look at is the way that disease has been transmitted in and around the world and the United States, and what types of diseases are people really faced with as we go around the world, right? So epidemiology, the word epidemiology, is the study of the factors affecting human health and illness. So really epidemiology is the study of, or the ecology of, diseases. So when we look at this graph right here, we're going to see that the major causes of death in the world in the United States in 2005, we can see that cardiovascular disease, the United States is leading the way there compared to the world. Infectious disease, United States is way behind and the world leads us. And cancers, the United States leads the world. So when we think about these different diseases, you know, cardiovascular disease and cancer, that's something that you cannot catch, right? Those are lifestyle issues, and genetics. Infectious disease, that's something that can be prevented. And so in the United States, we're very good at preventing infectious disease, vaccines and antibiotics and all those types of treatments. And we know to wash our hands, and we see signs in every public restroom. But in the rest of the world, they don't have access to that. So in 1900, acute illness, that which is short-lived, like pneumonia, influenza, tuberculosis, gastritis, which is the stomach bug, those were all the top leading causes of death, believe it or not, in 1900, and top diseases. Today, in more developed countries, we've seen a shift to heart disease, cancers, and pulmonary diseases, right? And so, again, that shift is mainly due to medicine, lifestyle, and aging, which is why one of the big things they do when you go to the doctor nowadays is they calculate your BMI, which in your health class is your body mass index, right? And they can figure out what your obesity risk is from that number. So in lesser developed countries, like we see this infectious disease here, drinking water quality is still the underlying issue, right? That's number one. Availability of vaccines, that's number two. And lack of nutrition, that's number three. If you don't take your vitamins, you're not going to be healthy, right? So risks are usually expressed as probabilities. What's the probability that you're going to get some disease, right? If you live in a lesser developed country, your risk is greater. And we use risk analysis to determine really what's the chances that something could happen to you, right? How often do you speed? The more often you speed in a car, the higher your risk that something bad may happen to you, right? So when we use risk assessment and risk management, we identify the hazard, what's the probability of the risk, how likely is the event happening, and what are going to be the consequences of that, right? And all of that goes into our idea of risk management. Now, there's several different types of risks, right? Biological hazards are pathogens. We've talked a little bit about that already today. Chemical hazards would be like air, water, soil, food. So when we think about people being exposed to pollution, a lot of times, unless that pollution is something that's alive, the pollution is a chemical hazard. Air pollution, water pollution, those types of things. If we think about physical hazards, fire, earthquake, volcanic eruption, severe weather, those are all physical hazards. And cultural hazards include things such as smoking, poor diet, right? Those are lifestyle choices. Okay? So we're going to end this portion. That starts us off, chapter 17, and good luck with the questions.